What y'all doing up? Anyway, you can hear me. Can you see my screen? Is it clear? Is my screen clear? Screen is clear. Okay. I was hoping to take some trades, but there's nothing set up. So, and you have to understand when there's nothing, you can't do nothing. You know, you're at the mercy of the market. So I wanted to show y'all something, how you can really capitalize on the upcoming bull run and make some serious money. Um, so I asked ChatGPT. I said cite Bitcoin's price changes month to month from August 2020 to December 2021, include ROI. Why do I say? I think you are asking the question in the present. You should ask, why did you say this week? You said, why did you say? Yeah, because there was there was too many economic high impacting economic data coming out. Um, there was a lot of earnings coming out, right? So, and not just any company, major blue chip companies. You had Apple reporting, you have Amazon reporting, you had um, who else? AMD. There's a lot of heavy hitters. And they control a huge, like these companies like Meta put together, they control about a good 30% of the S&P 500. So if they're all reporting, it's it typically has a major impact on the market. So during those times, it's best to stay out, right? And then you had the interest rate decision being made, or they had a press conference or whatever. That's another thing. Plus, tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, you have the non-farm payroll coming out. So it was too much, right? Too many high impact and news coming out at the same time. It's never a good time to trade. It's best to stay out. Anyway, is this just coins and not stocks? Yeah, just coins. No stocks. You want stocks? You gotta pay. Join the Discord. We do it all. Here, I'm only talking about cryptos. Maybe an hour. Live trade an hour if there's an opportunity to get in. If there's nothing, we come back the next day. You know. But yeah, anyway, so I asked ChatGPT. He has a month-to-month breakdown, right? So if you look at it, and I'm not just showing you this just to show you. I'm showing you so you can see it with your own eyes and take whatever action you want to take, right? So August 2020, which is about 4 years ago, that month of August, Bitcoin was 11,500, right? The following month, it went down to 10,750, right? The following month in October, it went up. It had a 28% ROI, went up to 13,800. In November, it went up 19,700. In December, it went up 29,000. In January, it went up 33,000. Why am I showing you this? We are exactly where we were 4 years ago. Capiche? Am I making sense? If I'm making sense, give me a 1. If I'm making sense, give me a 1. I don't know why all these people are sleeping. Should be here picking up this free game. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with elections. It ain't got nothing to do with elections. Elections ain't got nothing to do with this. Because it follows a similar pattern even during years where there's no election. So it ain't got nothing to do with it. But so as you can see, if you go back, right, 2020 in August 11.5, September 10.7, October 13.8, November 19.7, December 29, January 33. You can sort of expect something similar this year, a similar pattern, right? It's not going to exactly follow this, but this gives you a guidance. This gives you an idea that we are here. September, it might be slightly down or it might be slightly up, give or take, minus 5%, plus 5%, right? Give or take. October, it will likely go up. November, we may be seeing 80K Bitcoin, right? 75K Bitcoin, 90K Bitcoin. Who knows? December is probably going to go up higher. January is probably going to go up even higher, right? So that's the reason why I'm showing you this pattern, so that you know that you are here. This is where you are. You are here. And you have the opportunity to get down here. So the question is, what are you doing between here and here if you know that this pattern works 9 out of 10 times? As a matter of fact, it's 10 out of 10 times. You feel me? 10 out of 10 times. So let's keep on going. February, it went from 33K to 45K. So you see the growth since basically August, it keeps on making incremental growth, right? February up 36% to 45K. March 59K, right? April, which is going to be April of next year. Remember, this will be 2021 will be equivalent of what 2025 is going to be. 2024 is the equivalent of what 2020 was. You feel me? So April, it went down slightly, 57,000 minus 3%, right? Then May, it dropped about 35%, right? June, it dropped a little bit more. So from April, May, June, about 3 months, there'll be some sort of pullback, right? This doesn't mean it's gonna do the same exact thing in 2025, but you can expect something similar where it will go up and up and up and up, and maybe March and April it pulls back, or it may go up and up and up and up, and then April or May, June, July it pulls back, right? Because people are going to take profits. So I'm showing you this to show you that you have a good 15 to 18 months where you can make a lot of silly money, crazy money. And this pattern gives you a visual of what I've been verbalizing. You understand? So after the drawdown from here, these 3 months were the drawdown months, right? After a massive run. So it's not just going to keep on going nonstop. It's going to pull back. It's going to relax for a little bit, right? So perhaps maybe after 6-7 months of massive money printing, you can take some profits, let it cool down, then you come back in. You come back in July. So see, July, it came back, 41K. Then August of the following year, 47K. Now let me show you something. You see this August? If you following me, how much was Bitcoin August of 2021? Type in the comment. How much was it? August of 2021. Type in the comment. August of 2021. It's highlighted. You can't miss it unless you can't see my screen. 47K. Anybody else? 47K. Okay. Let's go back and look at how much it was August of the previous year. How much was it? August of the previous year. How much was it? So you see the difference a year can make even if you are not trading. You see the difference a year from now can make even if you are not trading. You get it? You can simply buy, hold 12 months and look at the difference. 11. So it's basically you making an investment. Forget Bitcoin, right? It's basically you putting 11.5K into an account, and a year later, the 11.5K is now worth this 47K without doing anything. And the point I'm trying to make to you is you will not get any ROI similar to this in 12 months without doing anything. Let me say that again. There's nowhere on the planet, there's no other asset class, there's no other legitimate business opportunity that can almost guarantee you these type of insane returns, 200-300% in a 12-month period by doing nothing, by literally doing nothing. A bank can't give you that, right? Real estate ain't gonna give you that. You see what I'm saying? Like, trading damn sure ain't gonna give you that if you don't know what the hell you're doing. So this is like a fool's proof way of making money. You can close your eyes and make money. All right, let's keep it going. So September 2021, it went to 44K. Then October, it went to 61K. So again, if you go back here, August, and you did nothing, and this is the same August we are in now, right? We're in August right now. So let's say you missed 2020 August. So you're probably thinking, oh, well, 2020, I didn't know shit. But why are you telling me this? Well, I'm telling you this because we in August. We are exactly where this was back then, but we are there now in the present, right? So if you took 11,500, put it in Bitcoin in August of 2020, by October of 2021, it was worth 61K, right? So if you take that 61K divided by 11,500, that's basically 500%, right? That's 5x. You can't get that nowhere. Now, I don't think Bitcoin is going to do a 5x from where it's at. But if it does 3x or a 4x from August, if we had 65K plus 400%, I've been putting this on Instagram since 2021, right? I've been putting this number on IG since 2021. 325K Bitcoin, right? Even if it doesn't do 400% and it does 300% plus 300%, 260K Bitcoin. Even if it doesn't do 300% and it does 200%, 195K Bitcoin. You picking up where I'm going with this? Without having to do anything. Plus, you have to understand, you might see Bitcoin as 65K and you might be thinking, oh, but I ain't got 65K. I can't buy a whole Bitcoin. Well, cool. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Let's say you had $5,000, $5,000 invested into Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up 500%, your $5,000. Let's say you had $5,000 invested instead of buying a whole Bitcoin. You only could afford to put in $5,000, right? So a $5,000 will give you $5,000 worth of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up 500%, your 5,000 will also go up 500%. Give me a 1 if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So the question is, what do? You can force the horse to the river, but you can't force it to drink, right? If 18 months from now you haven't made insane amounts of money, you need to slap yourself wherever you are, because somebody literally took time to break this shit down to you, and you chose to do nothing. You chose to probably party or invest your money in some other bullshit that ain't gonna bring you a tenth of the return this is gonna yield you. Okay. Um, so let's go further down. Let me show you something. Okay, so I said 18 months after each Bitcoin halving, if you invested $1,000 every month, starting from the halving month, how much would you have? Right? So look at this. So for 2012, this is the breakdown for 2012. This is the breakdown for 2012. Y'all can see my screen? This is the breakdown. This is the breakdown for 2016, right? So you put in 1,000 here, put in 1,000 in August, 1,000 in September, 1,000 in October, 1,000 in November, 1,000 in December. You see how there are certain months where your 1,000 is worth less than what you put in. Man, this is 18 trillion billion quadrillion game I'm giving y'all right now. And we only got a handful of people on here. But folks will go chase somebody with a whole bunch of followers who they don't even know this shit, first of all. They don't know this shit. They cannot break it down to you. They haven't been in the market, right? They haven't put money in the market. They haven't experienced it. So how are they going to show you? But anyway, that's besides the point. So in July, your 1,000 would have been worth 650. A lot of people will give up here, right? A lot of people will give up here. A lot of people are not about that life. So July, they put in 1,000. 1,000 is now worth 650. August, you doing another 1,000. It's now worth 580. September, 600. In your mind, I'm losing money. That's what 90% of people are gonna do. In their mind, it's like, man, fuck this. I would rather go have fun, go eat, take a vacation, do whatever the fuck they will do with that 1,000. And a lot of people do spend that amount of money every month on some bullshit that they never get any return from, right? But as time went on, now December, that $1,000 you put in is now worth $960. January, $950. February, $1,200. Now you beginning to see, right? The money is now, it's giving you a return immediately, right? March, the 1,000 is worth 1,000, right? Stabilizing 1-to-1. April, that 1,000 is worth 1,250. May, the 1,000 is worth 2,300. That's over 100% ROI. June, the 1,000 is worth $2,500. August, the 1,000 is worth $4,400. You get it? September, the 1,000 is worth $4,200. October, the 1,000 is worth $6,000. November, the 1,000 is worth $10,000. December, $19,000. January, $13,000. Do you follow? A lot of folks will not make it through here. A lot of folks will fuck up here. Here. Right here, they can't make it. Man, give me a one if you pick it up what I'm putting down. I done put down like $18 trillion worth of game right now. $18 trillion worth of game right now. If you understand this, you good. But understanding it is one thing. Executing it is another. So you can understand it. Okay, this is information. This is dope. But you probably still ain't going to do shit. I know this for a fact. You're not. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. So in a way, I know I'm wasting my time, but I'm still going to do my part. I know I'm wasting my time, but I feel obligated to put it out there, right? Just so you know. Just so when you don't do it, you look in the mirror and you slap yourself, right? Because you can't say nobody showed you. You can't say nobody broke it down. All right. Let's go. 2020. Same thing. 1K 8,500 in May. June 1K 9,450. July 1K 9,400. Right? Now check this out. Check this out. The total value after 18 months. Can somebody answer this question so I know you're paying attention? If you invest $1,000 for 18 months, what will be your total investment? If you invest $1,000 every month for 18 months, what is your total investment for that period of time? $18K, right? $18,000, $1,000 a month. Well, guess what? If you did that 18K is now worth this. Just by doing that. How much is that? How much is that? If you did that in 2012 after the Bitcoin halving, if you only put 1,000 at a time every month consistently, what is the return? What's the return? How much is your $18,000 worth? Somebody, come on, man. It's worth 186K. If you did the same thing in 2016, right? If you literally did the same thing in 2016, your 18K will be worth 196K. You get it? So in 2016, it was even higher, right? You invested 18K, the 18K is now worth 196K, right? If you did the same thing in 2020 for 18 months, your 18K is now worth 55K. You see that? You see what I'm saying? And this is if you do $1,000 every month. This is 18K. That's what you get. If you did 30K, obviously it will be higher. If you did 50K, it will be much higher. Right? It's probably gonna be less. It's probably gonna be less than the previous years, because you know the higher the price gets, the because remember at some point in 2012 Bitcoin was like 12 bucks, $15, $20, $100, right? So you got more, right? Same way 2016 it was like $200, $400. So the higher the price goes, seems like the lower the ROI, but there's going to be an ROI, a positive ROI nonetheless, right? So here's the breakdown of the ROI. So you see that total value after 18 months, 186K. Total investment, $18,000. ROI for the 2012 bull market was 937%. Right? So if you invested more, you would have made more. If you invested 50K, it will probably be well over, 600,000 or something. Second halving, as you can see, 18K turned into almost 200K. You get it? The last one, 210%. 18K to 55K, 210%. So we are yet to find out if it's going to be higher than 210%, or is it going to be 100%, or is it going to be 150%, right? So now we wait, but you put money behind it because the pattern has already showed you how it rocks. You know what I mean? It's a no-brainer. So you can either sit on the sideline and be like, I don't know, blah, 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 right? It's designed to do this. It's designed to do this. So that's all I got for you, man. If you don't do nothing with this, I don't know, maybe you cursed. Maybe you hate money. Maybe you don't want to make, fast money or quick money. It's because of Bitcoin halving. Go check it out. Go research Bitcoin halving. You will see. So it's all part of the design. It's part of the coding. It's supply and demand. So it's built in to do this every 4 years. But you got to remember, the more people get to know about it, the effect is going to slow down. And the ROI is going to, gradually decrease. So anyway, anybody got any questions? That's all I got for y'all. Anybody got any questions? I'll take questions for like 5 minutes and I'll be out. Questions for 5 minutes and I'll be out. Nah, there's nothing. That's what I was planning on doing, but there's nothing. There's nothing yet. Otherwise we just gonna be sitting here and you just staring, but there's no action, you know. There's no action. Like right here, I'm looking at Fetch AI. I haven't entered it yet, but I'm looking for a breakout, right? So I'm looking to like pop from here. I'm looking for it to pop. But it's not ready yet. How come they say to never sell your Bitcoin? You said it well, why not? How do you make gains if you never sell? It's the same way if you bought a lot of real estate. If you had a lot of real estate, let's say you bought a house, you bought a land, you built a house for $50, and the value of the house keeps going up. What are you selling it for? It's the same concept. So if you can answer that, if you know that if I buy this house today, tomorrow is gonna I buy this house today for 100 grand. Tomorrow is gonna be worth 200 grand. 2 more years after that, it's probably gonna be worth 400 grand. And then another 2 years is gonna be worth 600 grand. Then 700 grand. Then 800 grand. Then 900 grand. What are you selling it? Especially if you know that the value keeps going up. Are you selling it? And if you're selling it to do what? You can will your house to your kids, right? You can borrow against your house, right? You can use it as collateral, but you don't have to sell your house. It's the same concept. It's an asset with a very limited supply, with an increase in population. Everybody wants a piece of it. There will never be any more made. So I hope that answers your question, because it's really that simple. If you have something that everybody wants that is growing in value year after year after year after year, what are you selling it for? Is the question. Make sense? Make sense? Oh no. Yep. So that's why you don't sell it. So if you truly understand the value of Bitcoin, you're not even day trading it, right? You're like, nah, I ain't doing that. I'll let the suckers do that because they don't know what they're doing. But you buy with a long-term perspective in mind. I'm buying to hold. I'm buying to keep for myself and my family because I know that this asset that is worth 65K per unit right now, 10 years from now, it could be at $1 million. 10 years from now, it could be at $1.5 million. So what am I buying it at 65 to sell it at 85 for? It's just it's a couple of things. There's a fallen wedge. I'm looking if the fallen wedge is going to play out. There's a head and shoulders pattern being formed. So if the neckline breaks, I will go up from there. So right now, I just wait. You know, I'm waiting for it to break here. Yeah. So I will set my alert here. If it breaks here, I will get in. Maybe slightly, let me move it slightly down. So if it hit 1.16, it's gonna alert me and I will jump in. Or if it comes down to like exactly where it's at, but I need to see a rejection, pin bar or something, So for now, you just wait. And in between the waiting, you can be researching, right? You don't try to force to trade just because you're up and you're like, that's where people fuck up, you know? Just because the market is open doesn't mean you should there's nothing to do, right? It's like, what's your setup? Why are you getting in? What are you trading? What is your reason? If you do get in, why are you getting out? Right? You have to be able to answer all these questions before certain people just do shit because they bored. They bored. Or they feel like, oh, I woke up, so I need to get rewarded for staying up, right? The market has to pay me because I showed up. But unfortunately, the market doesn't give two shits about you losing sleep, right? So that's what you need to understand. So for now, and I'm looking at this but I'm really not looking at this. I'm looking at this, but ultimately, let me show you. Ultimately, right, it all boils down to what's going on here. Does that make sense? Give me a one if what I'm saying makes sense. Ultimately, it boils down to what is going on here. So if Bitcoin is down, Fetch ain't gonna do nothing, right? So I'm only gonna go into Fetch if Bitcoin finds support. If you were on my free webinar, I explained everything, right? That the altcoins follow Bitcoin. They don't have a footing of their own. Bitcoin goes, they follow. So I'm not going to go get into Fetch without getting confirmation from Bitcoin first. When it gets to your target, well, it depends on what you could risk. Everybody's pocket is different. So it depends on what you can risk, what you can afford to lose. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support. It all depends on your pocket. Everybody's pocket is different, right? So you cut your coat according to your size. And you know, on Sway Market, it allows you to like pre-calculate. This is my risk. This is how much I'm fucking around to find out, because that's what trading is, right? Fucking around to find out. So how much are you willing to fuck around to find out if you make money or not? For me, it may be $1,000. For you, it may be $5,000. For somebody else, it may be only $50. You know what I mean? So it depends on your knowledge, your confidence, your system, your risk tolerance, your money management strategy. It's so many things. You understand? So it's not like, yeah, I put 200 up. It's gonna vary. You know, it may vary from trade to trade, or based on your system, you can do a certain amount for every trade, regardless. So there's a strategy where every trade you get in, you might be risking $50 for every trade, regardless of how high probability that setup looks, right? Whether it's high probability or not, when you see it, you're going to get in and risk the same amount. And then there may be times where you might adjust your risk, right, based on how you may feel. So it varies. All right, y'all got like 5 more minutes, because these days I'm trying to stay on schedule, right? If you got any questions, feel free. We got like 6 minutes and it'll be an hour. But there's nothing. If there was a trade, trust me, I would have called a trade. And I'm gonna try and do this every day around the same time. You know, 1 to 2, or 2 to 3, or 3 to 4. You know, it's around at the same time. Gary Network. What is when going to, okay, will you let know how much we should trade. Yeah. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I'm risking on the trade. Because usually I'll risk like $50, right, per trade, $50, $60, and I'll be looking to make, 200, 250, and that is the way it's supposed to work. You risk 50 to make more. Don't risk 50 to make 50. That's not sustainable. Risk 50 to make 150, or 200, or 500. That way, if you get one winner or two winners, you up, right? If you hit two winners back to back and you made 200 each, you up 400. So even if you lose your next two trades, you still up 300. Does that make sense? I'll check it out, but this way you have to understand. Gary Network is not gonna do nothing if Bitcoin is not going up. Even without looking at it. Understand that. Gary Network is a shit coin. Even without me knowing what it is, I can confidently tell you it's a shit coin, right? The only way Gary Network will have any ability to do anything is if Bitcoin goes, yeah, Gary Network might, depending on their community, their tokenomics, it might go just like everything else, right? And I can literally, so let me show you something. You see how we were looking at Fetch AI? Let me show you. So look at Bitcoin. See that when we first pulled up, Bitcoin was at 64 and some change, like 64.80, 64,080. You see Bitcoin is trying to go up, right? Does everybody agree? I'm almost done, but let me finish with it. Does everybody agree? When I first pulled up the screen, Bitcoin was at 64.89-ish, under 64,100, right? Under 64,100, correct? 64,100, right? Yes, no? Is A More the only person here? Are the rest of y'all sleeping or something? You here? Okay. So if we go back here, if we go back here and I remove this, you will notice that, damn, your beard is, I hope you a chick. Otherwise I need to scream, hey yo. Um so let me show you. Let's go to like 5 minutes. I need to be able to do like a side by side so you can watch Fetch in real time as Bitcoin moves. Let's see if we can do that. Let's do 1 minute. I need to do a side by side, right? But you will see. So this is a fallen wedge, right? A fallen wedge is a bullish pattern, right? It's a bullish pattern when the wedge is like closing in like this, right? It's closing in like this. So typically when the structure breaks, it would go something like from here, right? That's how you play it. But the structure has to break. Capiche? The structure has to break. This is the structure. Structure. You see that? That's a structure like this. And you are waiting until it breaks out of the structure. So it's a bullish pattern. Bullish pattern. So you're looking for this. Pew. Make sense? But you don't get in thinking you know what's going to happen. You got to wait until it breaks out because it may never break out. And then you see how it's breaking down instead of it's trying to break down instead of up. So if you get in prematurely, you're gonna be caught holding a bag of shit coins. You don't want that. So you gotta wait. See, it's breaking down. But if you're not in it, you're okay. If you in it, you're gonna be sweating. You're gonna be like, damn, can you go up there? Because you didn't wait. And ideally, I wouldn't even be looking at this chart, right? Because it's a 1 minute chart. I don't do 1 minute charts. It's stupid, right? I don't do 1 minute charts. It is stupid. But I'm only showing it to you because it's gonna give us the most price action right now, right? So if you want to see movement, I can even switch it to 10 seconds, which is even more ridiculous, right? It makes no sense why people be trading with these. Let me do 15 seconds. This is crazy. So basically what this means is every 15 seconds a new candle forms, right? But this is what impatient people use. People who can't sit and wait for the market to come to their levels, they try to go down lower on the time frames because they want something so bad. They're like crackheads. You don't want to be a crackhead in the market. You want to wait, have your levels, have a system, let the market find your levels, let it break your levels. And once it breaks, then you execute on your plan. Plan your trades and trade your plans. Don't be rushing to get in because you want some action so bad. Make sense? So I set my alert that if a certain level breaks, even if I'm sleeping, I'm gonna hear, right? Even if I'm sleeping, it's gonna ding. Ding, 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 ding. Then I wake up and I do what I have to do. You see it struggling? You see it struggling right here? So you can either sit here all day and watch this, or you set your alert and you go. But the thing is, if you sitting behind it, you might end up doing shit you don't plan on doing just because you're bored and you want to reward yourself. So I tell folks all the time, trading is 80% psychology, 20% skill. You see it breaking down? If you got in hoping that it will break up, by now you sweating. Now you sweating. Every tick, you mad. Like, fuck. You feel me? Anywho. Any more questions before I leave? So if my trigger, if it hits, I'll just execute. But I'll look at Bitcoin first, as always. You gotta check Bitcoin. See Bitcoin. So you see how it's dropping, right? You see how it's dropping? Let me show you this real quick. You see that? Does that make sense? You see why it's dropping now? Does that make sense? Anybody? Does it make sense? Why it's dropping, or it was dropping? Because Bitcoin went from 64,200 to 63,960. So Bitcoin is down, Solana is down, XRP is down, ADA is down, Ethereum is down, Binance Coin is down, DOT, AVAX, Near Protocol, Doge is just a few that are green. You get it? So once you make that connection, you're not gonna jump into anything just because you think that setup might be legit setup, but it won't go nowhere if Bitcoin doesn't propel it. Yep. Not to most shit coins, to all of them. All of them. Even the ones that may be, even the ones that may be green right now is only because they may have not reacted yet, but eventually they all going to. Because the reaction time may be different. Some of them they're so connected that the moment Bitcoin goes up, they like the connection is almost immediately, right? But some of them are slightly delayed. So they may be green for a bit and you thinking, oh, this is great. 20 minutes later, they turn red too. So 20 minutes later, you can come look at the charts and sometimes you see everything is red. When Bitcoin is red, everything is red. And then you might have one green here and there, like, Actually, I got into Maker. I got into Maker today. Maker is one of my favorite coins of all time, right? Because it has such a limited supply, right? Circulating supply is about 930,000, right? The max supply is 1 million. You can look at the stats. 2.4 billion market cap. It has a decent 24-hour volume, right? Max supply is 1 million. Circulating supply under 1 million, right? High, the open and the close yesterday, 2,800, 2,700. High and low, 2,650, 2,800. It gives you a range, right? It gives you a range. And then yesterday's volume, and then blah, blah, blah. You can do your own research, investigate what they do and shit like that. But I fuck with Maker heavy. Heavy. Oh man, I'm done. Gary ain't gonna do nothing. Gary is not even Gary. I'll look into it tomorrow. Tomorrow when I'm here, we'll look into Gary stuff. But you know, so it's going even further down. It's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? You just wait. But yeah, guys, if I do see something, right? If let's say the market turns around in like an hour or so, I'll be back. I'll come on live so we can get into a trade together. But if I don't see anything in like two hours, I'll go to bed. So between 2 and 4, if I see a setup or my alert goes off, I will come back on the live. And if you up, we can get into some trades together. All right, y'all. I am out. Peace.